I'd like to take a few minutes and share with you 103 years of Haleyville history. My mentor of many years, the late Dr. William Harris, once said, "Appreciation is one of life's rarest of perfumes. Perfume because it's so sweet, and rare because it's so seldom expressed." With that in mind, and with the month of September having been officially proclaimed as Historic Feldman Properties Month in Haleyville, Alabama, I would like to express my appreciation to a few of the people who over the years have been instrumental in recognizing and or helping the properties to become recognized as historic landmarks. First, thanks to my wife, Judy. When the Feldman's department store building was first entered into the National Historical Register, the Alabama representative of the National Trust for Historic Preservation, Samuel Frazier, Esquire of Birmingham, said, "The community is fortunate to receive the gift of this fine facility because of the preservation efforts of the Teal family and others. The building is important architecturally, culturally, and historically. Very few communities of this size have such an asset." End of quote. To his comments, I'd like to add that it's not easy for an old structure to become a historic landmark. It takes a lot of time, effort, and expense. It took Judy about 2 years of effort to get each one of the two Feldman properties, first the house and then the building, officially listed in the Alabama Historical Register. And it took her another 2 years to get the building officially listed in the National Historical Register. 6 years of effort, thanks to her. Second, thanks to the mayor, council, and acting city clerk. That would be you, Deborah. In September of 2011, you prepared for me, at my request, an official document proclaiming the month of September as Historic Feldman Properties Month in Haleyville. It said, "Whereas the historic Palmer Feldman House in Haleyville, Alabama was built in 1902 for Dr. A.S. Palmer, the first medical doctor in Haleyville and a state legislator, 1897 to 1901. Whereas the house was purchased by Moses Feldman and his family, among the first Jewish families in the city of Haleyville and of European descent, who lived there until second generation Dave Feldman's death in 1999. Whereas the house was later purchased and renovated by Dr. Joe Teal, a Haleyville native, and his wife Judy, a native of Ecuador and of European descent, in September of 1999. Whereas the house was officially registered with the Alabama Historical Commission in September of 2003. And whereas the historic Feldman's department store Teal Professional Building was constructed for John Dodd on Main Street in downtown Haleyville, Alabama in 1911, whereas it was the first brick retail building in Haleyville, whereas the building was purchased circa 1916 by Moses Feldman and family, who owned and operated as a department store on the first floor for 2 generations, whereas the second floor of the building was the location of a cotton trading company, a medical office, and a courtroom, whereas the building was a center for 4th of July city celebrations and other important gatherings of local citizens according to existing photos. Whereas over the years the building has been able to survive fires, climatic, and political storms which destroyed many buildings in the downtown area. Whereas after Dave Feldman's death, the building was purchased in September of 1999 by Dr. Joe and Judy Teal, who painstakingly renovated and converted the downstairs area into a community ballroom to be rented out at a nominal fee for weddings, receptions, and other special private and community events. Whereas the building was officially registered with the Alabama Historical Commission in September of 2004 and officially notified of acceptance into the Register of the National Historical Commission in September of 2009. Whereas the building celebrated its 100th birthday in September of 2011. And whereas while Alabama Governor Bob Riley referred to the building as a first-class facility that any city would be proud of. Whereas while Alabama Attorney General Troy King referred to the building as a great addition to the city of Haleyville. Whereas Joseph McGill of the National Trust for Historic Preservation referred to the building as an icon and jewel of the city. Whereas Susan Ensweiler, National Historic Register Coordinator for the state of Alabama, said, "It is a wonderful building." And whereas these historic Feldman properties are the only privately owned properties in Winston County to be officially registered as historic landmarks, now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council hereby officially designate the month of September as Historic Feldman Properties Month in Haleyville, Alabama as of September 2011. Thanks to y'all. Last but not least, and I was hoping someone would be here to represent them tonight, but thanks to the Haleyville Historical Society, In time for the month of September 2014, historic Feldman Properties Month, the Haleyville Historical Society, at their own cost and efforts, had reproduced on the side of the historic building a sign which originally read, and now again reads, Feldman's Department Store, quality merchandise and lowest prices. Thanks to them. And finally, I understand that this City Hall building, home of the first ever 911 phone call, is also officially registered as an Alabama Historic Landmark, thanks to the tireless efforts of Valerie Taylor. Since appreciation is one of life's rarest of perfumes, even if you don't decide to preserve this building as a historic landmark, I hope that you will have thanked Ms. Taylor for her effort and accomplishment. As U.S. Congressman Robert Aderholt of Haleyville has written, and I quote, I am a firm believer that we need to protect our historic structures. It has been said of old buildings that they are not good because they are old. Rather, they are old because they are good. Again, thank you all.